What's up, man? Welcome to the Showdown Hoedown, where if you can't tell by the name, we're going to be breaking down the Showdown slate tonight for Thursday Night Football. You got to be asking yourself, hey, who the hell is this guy? Why did he show up in my YouTube recommended? Well, let me tell you, I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player who focuses on two sports. I focus on golf, and I focus on football. And tonight we're going to be looking at NFL. I also do college. Here's my schedule if you're interested in it. I'll be breaking down this shit all the time because if you don't know, DFS is hard as shit. And I'm not here to give you picks. I'm here to teach you how to play the game. If you want picks, if you want somebody to tell you who to play, brother, go check out another channel. This ain't it, you motherfather. Without further ado, let's get going. We always start with contest selection because this is the first place that you are wasting your money. Here you go. The big $15 tonight. Play in it. If you enjoy losing money. It is such a negative EV play. Get the hell out of tournaments like this. Don't play in the $15. Don't play in this big $33. Don't do it. A third of the money goes to first place. They're disgusting. You want to target tournaments where 20% or less goes to first place. That's the nuts. You also want to focus more on where you can max enter it. Rather that's a single entry, which would be a 1 max enter, right? Or a 3 max. Focus on those. Go check out the $100 single entry. Just so much better. Go check out the $50 single entry. Go check out the $1 20 max, the $3 20 max, the $5 single entries. They have all kinds of good contests no matter what level you play at. And you got to quit thinking you're going to win 500,000. You ain't going to do it. You're not going to do it. And the once in a lifetime you do hit, it's going to be a 378,000 person train and you're going to win $12. Okay, so don't do it, Bob. Don't do it. There you go. That's your advice. Go chase these good tournaments. Go look at the $5 single entry as opposed to playing in the flea flicker where 25% goes to first. Go play in the $15 single entry. These are just go play. Look, if you want to put up a lot of money tonight, you want to do $500 on the game tonight, you'd be so much better putting 3 in this 150 max than you would going and putting 33 lineups in the big $15. It's such a bigger positive EV play. If you're tired of always depositing on DraftKings, that's the first place you're blowing money. Hey, by the way, I have a contest every for week long. You get in it. It's absolutely free. It's down in the description of this video. Go hop in there, man. It's completely free. I'm just doing it to build a community. No, you got to click on my link. No email, no weird shit like that. It's just a free contest. Winner gets a free Million Maker ticket. You get to build with me, and we'll split the profits 50-50. Second place gets a free month on my Discord. Here's the results from last week. Congrats to Hello Dustin, excuse me. So tonight, we're going to focus on something we don't always start with, weather. I got my dude, John Galt JD. He's boots on the ground there in Charlotte, and he has told me that it might get nasty tonight. We're talking wind and rain as that tropical storm rolls into the Charlotte area. So because of that, I think that, weather doesn't impact sports as much as it does golf, which I love. But to say that we shouldn't consider it, I think, is a fool's errand. The weather tonight does seem like it's going to be sloggy. Then you factor in you have two teams that already play slow as shit, and then you factor in you have two teams whose offenses suck. This has the perfect recipe for a slog fest. So factor in the weather tonight when you're making your lineups. Maybe you use this weather and you leverage it to go the exact opposite. Maybe you play that, well, now everybody's going to play the slog narrative. I'll go play the shootout narrative, right? And it could be a way that you could go build a lineup that no one's going to have because no one's going to be playing 2 quarterbacks and 2 pass catchers from each team. No one's going to do that. So we're going to keep that in mind tonight as we talk about the slate. Hey, by the way, if you didn't know, I crossed 5,000 followers this week. All you got to do, I'm giving $400 giveaways next week to thank everybody. All you got to do to get, you can go like and retweet over on Twitter or just simply go leave any comment down in this video. It's another name on the wheel, doing 4 of them next week. Hop in there. All right, we're over here to Run the Sims. Run the Sims is the best tool-assisted site out there for doing this. You can see tonight we have a 42.5 over-under. Carolina's a 3-point dog to Atlanta. How bad are you that you're a 3-point dog to Atlanta? Am I right? And, we don't have a ton of injuries that we have to really take into account, right? It looks like Chuba Hubbard's going to be back, probably going to Chuba into a little bit of Deontay Foreman's workload. But by and large, we do not have many injuries to consider tonight. But you know what we do have? We have shitty primetime games back. Welcome to Atlanta and the Panthers. All right, so what you do here is we got our inputs. We're just doing generics. You can go enter your own, but here's the generic Sims for tonight, right? With inputs, excuse me. That's the word I'm after. And as you can see, the most likely to end up in the optimals tonight at only 63%, which is really low, which should show you. Normally we have somebody in the 70s or the 80s, but the most likely to be in there tonight is Marcus Mariota. You can see he's in there 63% of the time. However, we're projecting him to be owned at 81%. So as a leverage play, he's actually a really negative leverage play, negative 17%, right? That means that he's showing up in the optimals far less than he's going to be owned, which would make him a negative leverage play. But what we're not going to do here is just jump into who's a good play and who's not a good play, because I don't do that here. What I really want to teach you and get you thinking about is scripts, right? And I can go ahead and tell you right now, the number one script tonight was already going to be that it's going to be a low-scoring slogfest, a 17-13 type game. Each team runs 52 plays. It's going to be slow. These teams aren't aggressive. They're not going to be throwing down the field. And now that this weather narrative is going to be out there, this script is only going to get pushed more. So I will tell you, the best script to play tonight is probably a slow, sloggy game, right? Where you're taking guys who have low ADOTs, that's average depth of targets, right? Because there's going to be a lot more dump-offs. Running backs would be great, and defenses would probably be pretty good also. Guys you would want to avoid tonight in that would be guys, like deep threats, I wouldn't be playing a Damiere Byrd, a Shi Smith, Terrence Marshall Jr. Guys like that are way off of the radar in that kind of script, right? I also don't love kickers in that script because, it's hard to kick in the rain and the wind. You might need them, but I don't think I would play double kickers there, especially from the Carolina kicker, Eddie Pañaro. So that's the script, right? In a script like that, a guy like Marcus Mariota, who gets so much done with his legs, P.J. Walker, Cordero Patterson is amazing for that script because not only does he run the ball, he's going to also be getting targets out of the backfield. A guy like DJ Moore, in my opinion, is not unplayable in that script, but he's less valuable in that script. Same thing with Drake London, not unplayable, but less valuable. Kyle Pitts, very nice in that script. He fits very nice into that script. But here's what I challenge you. If we already know that most people are going to be making their lineups around that script, maybe this is a chance for you to go with another script. Maybe this is Atlanta beats the brakes off of Carolina. They do kind of suck, right? And by the way, am I losing my mind? Is Run the Sims not updated? I think it may be not PJ Walker. I thought that our boy Baker Mayfield was back. So keep an eye on that. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's back, but PJ Walker's still starting. I guess I should have looked that up before the broadcast, but it's too fucking late now. Okay. So here's another script for you. How about Atlanta just blows them out because the Panthers do kind of suck. And if they blow them out, well, then I think you could get really creative and start doing like 5-1 Atlanta builds. We call that an onslaught. Go run 5 Falcons and just run it back with 1 Panther. A very logical one, and that one would probably be the quarterback because he's probably going to be passing around and dumpster time trying to get back in the game. So that could be that, or 1 pass catcher. Or a script that literally nobody will run, the Carolina doesn't suck script. Okay, maybe Carolina comes out and wins this game 24-7, and then you can play their defense, their kicker, a running back, a quarterback, and a pass catcher. Probably all get there, run it back with Pitts, and you've got a lineup that nobody is building. Because the key to Showdown is building a lineup that makes sense, that works together cohesively, but also a lineup that not everybody has, right? What you don't want to be doing is building these scripts where you think that whatever, it's going to be a sloggy game, and then you're running out 2 quarterbacks and 2 pass catchers for each team, right? That lineup's only going to get there if this game is something like 24-28 or something like that, right? It's going to have to pick up pace to get all those pass catchers there, because the only way that quarterbacks and wide receivers outpace running backs, kickers, and defenses is in shootout type games. The lower a scoring a game is, the more value that a running back, kickers, and defenses have, because it's easier for them to outpace wide receivers and quarterbacks in slower paced games. This is why I tell you, it's all about the script you pick. And you want to know a little secret, brother? I don't give a fuck what script you pick. It's your pick. You got to make it, and you got to be responsible for it. Now, if you are running a shootout script, I think somebody like DJ Moore and Drake London become nuts plays. Like if you're going to go with a contrarian script like that, you got to just embrace it and go get on all these guys that would do well in a script like that, right? I will warn you tonight that if you're playing defenses, which is going to be super popular, everybody's going to want to play the defenses. And, I got to go play Carolina's defense. They're the home team, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. Just so you know, defenses don't necessarily do well in low-scoring games, right? So I think playing Carolina's defense is kind of a fool's errand tonight. Atlanta just doesn't give you a lot of chances to score. For a defense to score, right? They run a very conservative offense. They run the ball a lot. So you're basically dependent on a fumble, right? And you don't want to be depending on fumbles. Those are completely random. Mariota doesn't throw the ball enough to get lots of chances for sacks and interceptions and pick six. And so because of that, I think that greatly devalues specifically Carolina's defense. Atlanta's defense still may be there because Walker or Baker, either one that gets there, they don't mind a good turnover or 12. The last thing to consider is the makeup of your roster, right? Everybody runs 3 threes. That means 3 from this team, 3 from this team, 4 or 2, right? Especially the 4 versus 2, with Atlanta having the 4, because the favored team, people always want to have more exposure to that team. So instantly what you can do, you can build around your script, and you can go build 4-2 Carolinas, 5-1 Carolinas, or 5-1 Atlanta lineups. And that right there is so important to do, because if you do hit the nuts tonight, it's really nice when you do that and you don't have to split it with a 278-person train. That's why you do that. That's a way to get in there. All right. Talking about a few plays, I'm just going to run down the board real quick. We've already talked about the quarterbacks. I think they're both probably pretty viable. The running backs, Foreman and Patterson, both would really check the boxes for what you're looking for tonight if you're expecting a slog game. Probably not so much in a shootout game. I guess Patterson can get there in any script, but he is priced. And we got to wonder, is he getting a full workload? We don't know. All we have is last week where he got 13 touches, so there's still a little bit to be seen there. DJ Moore, Drake London, these guys are greatly discounted in a slog game, but if you think that it's an efficient game or that these teams actually score more points than people are expecting, those two guys are going to come in way undervalued and become tremendous plays. Both the kickers, you got to take them with a grain of salt just because of the conditions. Wet and windy might lead to the coaches not going for lots of field goals, right? This is outside. This ain't in the Atlanta Dome. And so because of that, you got to be aware that maybe they're just not going to get many opportunities. I think kickers are a little devalued tonight because of the weather. Second and third wide receivers, legit Terrence Marshall, Shi Smith, Tommy Trimble. I know he's a tight end, but he's a backup tight end. I guess he's getting the starting run there, but he just doesn't play as a primary tight end. Demir Berg, guys like that, the second and third down the depth target guys for each team, you got to think, do they fit? If you're going with the slog script, I just don't see how those guys fit in there. I don't see how they fit in there, right? Tyler Algier could still fit in there, right? He could go fall into the box once or twice and get there in a sloggy type game. However, and he might get 10 to 12 carries too. So, he might backdoor you 60 rushing yards and a catch or two. But these, Zacharias, whatever, how the hell ever you say his name, these guys like this, these secondary pass catchers are not very good if you're going with the sloggy script. Now, if you're going with a shootout script or you're going with Atlanta blows them out, well, then, yeah, you could probably put one of those guys there, because if Atlanta's blowing them out, they're going to have guys get there, and it'll probably be a pass catcher or two. From there, we already talked about the kickers. The defenses, Atlanta's defense is way more appealing than Carolina's, as we already talked about. And there's just not a lot of great punts tonight. You're wanting to go find that $200 guy, that $400 guy. There's just not a lot of great options. Literally the last guy that I would consider playing that is cheap, probably the lowest I would consider going, would be Ian Thomas. I do like scrub tight ends in a sloggy slate like this, if that's what you're going with, because he literally needs one catch for 8 yards and a touchdown, and he gets you there, right? At $2,000, you don't need a lot from him, and there is a chance he can fall into the box for his one catch. He's going to have low ADOT, that's average depth of target, and so I think that makes him more appealing. So there you go. That is a breakdown of the slate tonight. That is some things to consider. Notice I didn't give you a single fucking pick. If you want picks, go check it out. But if you're still here watching at this time, please do me a favor. Go like and subscribe. Just past 5,000. You see we're already up to 1,800 here on YouTube. Don't forget to go leave a comment so I can get more names in those $400 giveaway drawings next week. If you like the cut of my jib, I do a special, I have a Discord that's connected through my Patreon. I will be doing a live stream for them tonight before the game, breaking down all the news, going over the best optimal plays. It's growing every week. Come check it out. And lastly, go follow me on Twitter, or always reach out to me. I'm not one of those people who's like, I am such a big deal, I don't have time to respond to you. I'll always give you a thoughtful response. Reach out to me. Give me a follow over there. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you kick some ass tonight, and I hope you enjoy my outro. You mother father.